Okay, so you've got your library that you've set up by adding papers from search, AI search, importing citations. Now the question is, how do I add custom enrichments to this table? When we say enrichments, all we really mean is metadata field. So new field, maybe it's study design, maybe it's data type, maybe it's geography, maybe it's include, exclude criteria, yes, no, true, false, etc. You can really do anything. The possibilities are sort of endless in this context. As always, I just want to point out you can use the chat, the agent first, to ask questions like, what is a good, help me craft a prompt for a true false criteria that covers this, what does my library cover, etc. I'll collapse this for now. So here we're on our library, obviously, and I can click on the enrichments menu. Pops out at the bottom here. Reason, by the way, is so that it can also work well with the agent popped up as well. So we go, used to be on the side, now it's at the bottom. We can drag it up and down. There are about 65 enrichment fields that are pre-populated you can select from that are coming in via integration. So for instance, we can see we have OpenAlex, Semantic Scholar, LibKey, Crossref, and others, as well as AI-generated fields. So I can run, let's say, a main findings enrichment, and I can see that shows up here. You'll see that come up in a second. I might also run ISSN. And within ISSN, we should be able to see those. It's effectively a Crossref identifier starting to populate. Now, I should mention these only are going to run where you have DOIs. You can see we got a little bit of kind of bugginess here. These are only going to work where you have DOIs, but even if you have DOIs, you might not get some of the Crossref ISSN. So like I said, just give it a minute, and usually these run enrichments go away. As we can see, they've gone away here. Nonetheless, I'm going to bring up now our custom enrichment field. So anything you can think of, you can put in here. You can auto tag your library. You can do true false criteria, descriptive methodology, ask about control variables. In this case, I'm just going to use an example of include, exclude. And I cover this in more detail in a different video. You can go look for that in the playlist. But I'm just going to say something like developed countries check. And what it will say is include only if the study is in a developed high-income economy. Maybe I am trying to come up with, policy implications for U.S. policy. And so it's important to me that I look at developed countries. Importantly, I have 3 different answer structures. So we have name, instruction. You really want to make sure that instruction looks very good and is very clear. Then you have answer structure, any, specified, and then yes, no, maybe, true, false, effectively. Any will just give you kind of descriptive variable outputs. Specified, you can actually obviously say what should be the outcome. So as we'll cover in a different video, if I'm say auto tagging papers, the specify is where I can put in those categories. In this case, I'm going to do something really simple, and that is include, exclude, unsure. Of course, this is the same exact structure as yes, no, maybe. And I'm going to run these enrichments, and as you can see, these start to run here. Now, we actually, in this case, don't have many full texts, so we might get a lot of unsures. Obviously, the LLMs are working off of the data they've got, which in some cases is just going to be title abstract. So if it's not in the abstract, of course, you might not get a response. But where it is in the abstract, we have, for example, include, we have exclude here, South Africa, for example, exclude here, covered in the abstract, perhaps. We should see it here, International Development Research Center, South Africa again, unsure. So again, these are querying, in some cases, the full text, in some cases, the abstracts. And obviously, what you can get to is a point where you can filter for all of your include, or more accurately, filter for all of your exclude and delete them, filter for all of your include, and maybe if you do, you can tag them all at the same time as high priority. This is just the first way to go about very quickly screening papers. And that is, last thing I'll say, the primary use case of enrichments. A lot of people think of it as kind of a full text data extraction tool. Indeed, there's some really cool things you can do in terms of meta-analysis related capabilities, but screening is the #1 use case. And with custom enrichments, the possibilities are sort of endless.